panel discussion. The chairman of this session is Shri D. Sarangi sir. Now I would like to invite the chairman sir to control the dice. Please come, sir. And the panelists of this session are Shri S. K. Nirmal, Shri V. K. Rajawat, Shri S. F. Patilji, Shri Kameshwar Raoji, Professor Amarnath Reddy ji, Shri Kishore Kumar, Shri R. K. Tai Gopal ji, Dr. Abhishek Mittal, or Miss Atasi Vas. Now, I would like to request all the eminent personalities from the all over the India to come on the dais, please. So, technical session number 16, and the subject is quality assurance and quality control on highways project. Now, I would like to invite Shri K. Kuriji from host state Chhattisgarh to welcome all the eminent personalities who are here for panel discussion. इस स्वागत खुश भेंट करते हुए चेयरमैन सर डी सारंगी सर को कुरी जी. Thank you, Kuri ji. I would request Chairman sir to take the stage now. Over to you, sir. Thank you.
Thank you, madam. So, first, I would like to have a brief introduction of our panelist. As you can see, we have a very strong panel because the issue is also very, very serious to all of us. And day in, day out, those all of us who are in building highways and roads, we know how this matters to all of us because the entire nation, the taxpayers' money, the kind of environment, sustainability, everything gets affected by the quality or the lack of it. So, with me in today's panel, we have Sri S.K. Nirmalji, retired DGIT and SS, and long time Secretary General of IRC. I have also with me Mr. V.K. Rajawat on my right side, member technical from NHAI. I have Sri S.F. Patil, Chief Engineer from PWD Karnataka, Sri Kameswar Rao from Delhi Pilkan, Professor Amarnath Reddy from IIT Kharagpur, Sri R.K. Jayagopal, a reputed bridge consultant from Bangalore, Sri Kishore Kumar from RV Consultant, and well known, in fact, if I recollect, the IRC manual on quality control. In fact, myself and Kishore Kumarji were the main architects of that. Then we have Dr. Abhishek Mittal from CRRI and Madam Atasi Das. So first I will have a presentation of around 10 minutes or less than that. Then I would request each of the panelists to give their views. And finally, we'll have floor interventions on this important subject. So my presentation, please. So it is not changing. Please, can somebody change it? Okay. Uh, we all know this. I'll not take more time. In fact, I'll take some time, although my presentation is long on the last. But these are the impact of the premature distress and failure. Failure, whether during construction or immediately after, and particularly if it is a structure that is very, very visible, everybody takes cognizance of that. But what about the premature distress? If I am designing concrete pavement for 30 years and after 5 years it is full of cracks of all natures requiring the replacement of panels, then where we stand? So premature distress to me is a much bigger culprit than the failures which are visible to all of us during construction or immediately post construction. So, what are the consequences of this? There is huge loss to the nation towards cost of rework, replacement, and we are short of resources for infrastructure development and we are wasting money. That is number one. Number two, during the period we have poor performance, whether it is of road or bridge, we have also incur higher vehicle operating cost. That is also a loss to the nation. So first two things are on account of economic point. Third is this also leads to higher accidents, and accidents has also costs and all other repercussions, social repercussions. And fourth is higher carbon footprint in the life cycle of the project. Now everybody is concerned that our target to make the country carbon net zero by 2070. So first of all, if I am designing a product for 100 years, a bridge for 100 years, and after 34 years, that is some estimation by CRRI that average life of bridges in our country, then where how much carbon we are generating. So why these things are happening? Because of defective design, use of unsuitable materials, unacceptable use of unacceptable machinery. There are number of process deficiencies. The laboratories which are used for testing of materials at the site are many times defective. The equipment are not properly calibrated. If calibrated from some agency which is not competent to do so, then the personnel who are there, their number is less, their competency is questionable. They do something in a very mechanical manner, record it without going for the correctness of the testing. And then there are a lot of environmental, social matters related to safety, health, community engagement, etc., etc., which also impacts the quality. Next, please. Turning कहाँ पे बताया नहीं हो रहा है ना right right click okay. So if we I will delve into how this quality control came into being. First of all, it started with industrial production, then it transferred to all aspects of say engineering including civil engineering. So before second decade of 20th century, it meant inspection of products and removal of defective ones. That was the basis. Then the first statistical process control started by Dr. Seward in 1924, and his theory was based on two parameters: assignable cause and chance cause variation. Something you know but still not doing, that's assignable. And how much you say, how much you try to uh, improve. But if you are not removing those assignable causes, you can never have good quality. And chance cost variations will always remain there in spite of all your best efforts. And then he developed different statistical tools to minimize those chance cost variation. Next came the concept of total quality management by William Edwards Deming. And in fact, in the post war Japan, he was a respected personality in the industry. And what he proved that it is the improved quality that brings good returns to all those people who are involved in the process, starting from the customer, manufacturers, its vendors, suppliers. Everybody benefits from good quality. It is a very, very misconceived, rather wicked notion that if you are doing some poor quality, you save money, get profited. It is the other way around. Good quality being good returns to all, but in the long term, not in the immediate. Then the concept of Six Sigma, which is the uh, top of all, and we all know that if there is a 1 million product of something, only 3.4 out of that are permitted to be defective, not more than that. So when these are the benchmarks of quality, where we stand. In fact, during my interaction with many people, even the people who are into the business of quality control at site, they have lack of fundamental understanding of quality related terms. What means quality assurance? What means quality control? Many of us always confuse between the two. So here these are the fundamental definition by I think ISO 8402 that gives the terminology for all quality related term. So quality assurance, quality control is fundamentally different. In fact, quality control is a subset of quality assurance, which includes all your planning and actual implementation. If you can see this diagram, so quality management, quality assurance, and quality control, how they stand. Then quality characteristics. It's basically all the material, layer, component, whatever we are using, each have these have several quality characteristics, like whether I take a liquid limit is a quality characteristics, PI value is a quality characteristics, and these quality characteristics define the performance based on functionality, reliability, usability, efficiency, maintainability, and portability. So, based on these parameters, these quality characteristics are decided, and the values assigned to it are specification limits. So, if I say I require 98% modified Proctor density, that is a specification limit for the field density quality characteristics. I think many times our field engineers have lack of understanding of these terms even, then what to use it. Now I have a long presentation. I will not go into details of this. These are as per our IRC SP 112. That is the manual for quality assurance and quality control in the road and bridge works. So we have basically three stages. We have to first plan the things under assurance, then control it, and based on the test results, we have to either accept it or reject it. I will not go into detail, but for having good quality, we require good and competent personnel. We have to have a quality assurance plan prepared in advance. In fact, this is a requirement of all EPC, BOT, HAM project. Within 90 days of the appointed date, the quality assurance plan is required to be prepared by the contractor and get approved by the authority engineer or independent engineer. But what we see many times, quality assurance plan of project X is proposed in project Y. Even sometimes the NS number place is not replaced. So that's the amount of importance we give to quality assurance plan and its content. I will not again go to details. Then there are certain things our site laboratory is not equipped to test all the factory manufactured materials, products, etc. How to approve it? So in IRC SP 1 and 2, a lot of things we had a elaborate discussion on that based on the manufacturer's certificates, based on the manufacturer's testing reports, starting from the raw material used to the finished products, and then coupled with some witnessing in the manufacturer's laboratory, and if necessary third party testing. In many IRC standards, what should be the frequency, whether you should go for a testative testing or not, it is all mentioned, but this is again not followed with due seriousness. So this is about laboratory and on-site testing and measurement. We all know it, but it depends. If there is a problem, then there is a laxity or closing our eyes for some of the things that I have mentioned here. Then documentation and communication, this is also a very important part. There should be traceability. If amendment has 10 layers, in fifth layer, where from I have used the material at NHX, from which borough area and what was the property of soil from that borough area, that should be available at any point of time. We many times see that field density determination with respect to MDT of certain soil which has not been used in the first place. So the entire testing is very ridiculous. It has no sense, but people do that. Then come to statistical analysis, because statistical analysis important. Why? We are not testing the population or the lot. We are testing the sample. Based on the sample testing, we are predicting performance of the lot. And for that matter, statistical analysis is very important. If this is again normal distribution curve showing the standard deviation for the sample and the population. This is the method. I'm not going into this. Again, I'll just come with a table. I think in our orange book, these are the items and the quality characteristics for which statistical analysis is mandated. One should not approve a section based on the mean value only. Standard deviation has to be determined, and after applying the equation, then one should take the decision. But it is often ignored. And this is the final thing. I think I have how to accept, how to issue non-conformance report, and after non-conformance it is not always to be rejected, opportunity to be given, and there are always ways and means of its rectification. But is it happening with a approved methodology, and after rectification whether the test results are satisfying? That's the important thing. So these are many lapses noticed in our highway projects. Again, I will not be reading all of them. They are not only in pavement, they are in bridges, they are in tunnels. Um, in many things, we are noticing there are issues, and rigid pavement, under construction bridges. There are some glaring examples how the lack of quality is affecting us. This is something about the bridges. Even we don't have the right hydraulic geotechnical data for the design of foundation of structures, because in the EPC contracting, where it is the contractor's design, there is always an efforts to maximize the profit, and that results into lot of problems. Okay, so I'll not go into this. Even for tunnels, manipulation of the geological data is one of the fundamental reason. If it is certain rock class, it is reported as something else, and that leads to some saving in the cost of lining or something, but affecting the performance, the durability, and also sometimes resulting under construction failures. So, why these lapses are occurring? Because you don't have the requisite personnel, then we are not insisting on deployment of the qualified personnel from the manufacturer or expert service provider for the operations like pre-stressing, expansion joint facing, geosynthetics application, where the contractor's personnel are not capable or qualified for this, but just to save cost, they don't allow the manufacturers, or the manufacturer does not insist upon that. Then third party laboratory not accredited by NABL, no separate operators labors for day and night, same person allowed to work continuously for 2 shifts, then definitely that will affect the quality. The safety, health, and environment issues always impact quality if we ignore this in a variety of ways. And then calibration of testing equipment not done timely. So now these are my points for the panelists. We have seen that we have enough tools in our contracts to punish the contractor for some wrong work. Probably we are failing somewhere. So can you have something, some ecosystem to incentivize the contractor for good quality? It is a thought I am bringing with our panelists will be giving some insight to this. Then capacity building of all stakeholders. I should say integrity is lesser culprit than incompetency. So how to improve that? One should know what he is doing and what is its repercussions. Stricter enforcement, of course, but how to do it? The contracting mode, longer DLP, what we should have, then due considerations for safety, health, environment, and community engagement. So I would request panelists to dwell upon these issues. We have total time limit of 1.5 hours. So I would request individual panelists to please restrict their presentation or their views maximum to from 7 to 8 minutes. So I would first request Sri VK Rajawatji, Member Technical NHI, please give its views.
सवाल थर्ड नंबर जो था ना थर्ड नंबर था ना राजावत साहब का हाँ उन्होंने रखा है यहाँ कहाँ गया वो थर्ड नंबर था ना देखो ना उसमें कहाँ गया वो? थोड़ी ना लगता है। कहाँ डाला था आपने पहले सुनो क्वालिटी कंसर्न बना हाँ उन्होंने लोड किया था इसने यहाँ पे देखना यार उसको ले ले इसका पेन ड्राइव इसी में लोड किया था हाँ बस देख रहा हूँ और वहाँ से तो लोड नहीं किया नहीं किया क्या होगा लोड किया हाँ यहाँ नहीं सस्पेंड नहीं होता इस पे उधर किया हुआ है हाँ वहाँ लोड किया है हाँ हाँ उधर लोड किया है हाँ पता नहीं उधर लोड किया है। हाँ ऊपर से पेन हुआ है पर कॉपी की नहीं उसको सारा लिखा हुआ है हाँ नहीं कह सकते हैं किसी और को बुला लें पता चल रही नेक्स्ट को बुला लें टाइम वेस्ट नहीं होगा
Okay, we can next go to, because there is some problem in loading the presentation, Kishore Kumarji from RV.
सर पहले 3 में था। अच्छा, जो सीक्वेंस बनाया
नहीं नहीं, वो सीक्वेंस छोड़ने का बाद मैं दूंगा।
जब आपका नंबर 3 में सर, आपको कहाँ डाल चलो आप सर में फॉर्म में
नहीं, जस्ट अभी मैं करता हूँ।
यार पता है किसमें देखो आपने किसमें डाला जाएगा
चलो पाटिल जी, क्या मतलब आपने किसी ऑर्डर में सेंड कर सकते हैं? तो उसी ऑर्डर में करेंगे तो तुरंत हो जाएगी। हैं? पहले नंबर साफ करना है। ठीक है सर। So I would request SK Nirmal sir, retired DGRD and SS and Secretary General IRC, please.
निर्मल साहब ऊपर है
ठीक है। नेक्स्ट उसके बाद आपका आएगा।
ठीक Good afternoon, Chairman of the session, Sri D. Sarangi, fellow panelists, ladies and gentlemen. In fact, when we were discussing about the topic to be selected for today's panel discussion, a lot of subjects we deliberated. We found that even the bridge failures, even the road failures which are taking place in the recent couple of years, last 1-2 years, the major issue has come out is the quality of construction. There are very few design issues, but quality has got the highest. I mean, in all the cases, that was the highest occurrence of the that poor quality construction. So this is a very important subject for all the road engineers to how to address this quality issue. In fact, I have prepared this small presentation on technological aspects of the quality control, that how we can have this technology input and how we can control this inbuilt quality. It will be a little bit about the objective, one slide, then IRC codes, what we have at present, then key components, quality control tests, then challenges, what are the challenges in front of us, and then technological issues. So as we all know, I think there's already the context in the context setting. Chairman has deliberated on all the aspects of the quality in his presentation, in the introductory presentation. So it is to basically ensure that the highway construction meets the specified standards and performs as expected. That is what is the basic purpose. Then it is crucial for durability, safety, and cost effectiveness, as well as the public satisfaction. Ensure the safety and longevity of the highway. So, and then also we have to see that we have to reduce the repair cost and maintenance frequency and enhance public confidence and road user satisfaction. That is the main objective of this. At present, initially that was the only document available with the profession was IRC 11, and it was like a Bible for all of us. And 1984 publication, and it was in use till 2017. I mean, this is for at least 33 years. This was the Bible for all the quality control issues, handbook of quality control for construction road and runways. And another important document is on quality system for roads, that is IRC 57, and another for bridges is IRC 47. So these were the three documents available to the profession. Then around 2015, IRC decided that we should merge all the three documents and have a single document, that is manual for quality control in road and bridges. So it will cover all the aspects, management of quality, quality assurance and quality control, all the three issues. So this is the only document available now. All the three documents have been withdrawn. Now, as we all know, we are aware that what are the key components, that is material testing and verification is the most important component of the quality, the testing of all the components like soil, aggregate, bitumen, and to ensure compliance with the specification given in the manual. Then construction processes, all the construction methods involve quality issues, proper compaction, asphalt laying, curing, every aspect
Equipment calibration also is another aspect of quality, that it has to be calibrated and functioning correctly. Then inspection and monitoring, that also is one of the component of quality. And documentation reporting, that keeping track of all the activities, and accountability fixing and future references. Various tests, which I very briefly in one slide, that soil and aggregate testing, we have sieve analysis, Proctor compaction, Atterberg limit. Similarly, for asphalt testing, we have Marshall mix density compaction. Concrete testing, we have slum test, compression test, and material sampling, that is random and scheduled sampling of the materials. Then we have different phases. First is pre-construction phase, that is the soil test, material procurement, and equipment check. Then construction phase is the main phase where the quality is most important. That on-site monitoring, compaction, concrete mixing, bitumen application. Then visual inspection. Post-construction is when before opening we have to see that it meets all the standards. Long-term monitoring is surveys and maintenance. Then performance evaluation through various tests, weather impacts, and all that. Challenges are, there are environment factors like temperature variation affecting asphalt curing, unpredictable weather conditions. Then human error is, that is what is always we see, that they are not skilled people available. So that is another problem. That is a challenge, major challenge. Material variability and logistic issues. There are delays in supply chains. So these are some of the challenges which I have highlighted. Now I come to the main topic of my theme, is the technological development, how they will address the quality issue. And we see that the quality of road is paramount to ensure durability, safety, and technology plays a very critical role. How it plays a critical role, and technology involvement, how we can do. First is the automated testing equipment. There should be equipment which should be automated to reduce the human error. So we should move towards all these technology part. Drones and GIS mapping used for aerial surveys, monitoring road quality, and assessing construction progress. Then softwares have also been developed for quality control. There are programs to track quality data, generate reports, and analyze trends over time. That is automated generated reports, so that there is no chance of human error in that. And NDT plays a very important role. Techniques like ultrasonic testing, ground penetrating radar for detecting internal issues. There are a lot of other equipments also, but because of the brevity today, I have not brought all those available issues. Then real-time monitoring and data collection through the use of sensors, drones, and Internet of Things. Real-time monitoring of construction activities have been possible. Even compaction is being monitored. NHAI, some projects, they've started monitoring through on real-time basis. This compaction quality also. Then these technologies allow continuous data collection on various parameters like temperature, humidity, compaction level, and layer thickness. And we can be used immediately to detect deviation from the quality standard, allow for rapid corrective actions to maintain quality. Then drone can monitor large construction sites to track progress and identify any issues with the construction quality from a high level perspective, such as improper material placement and drainage problems. So these can be monitored through drone. Equipment don't need to be now, we should use advanced equipments which have come in the market now. So there are machineries available to equip with this highly precise and performance. Then GPS systems, automated leveling, and compaction control are integrated into quality equipment to allow more accurate placement of material, better compaction, and smoother finishes. These technology help prevent errors that arise from human limitations, ensuring a high standard of road quality. GPS guided pavers and graders ensure that lower layers are constructed with the right slope and alignment, minimizing risk of poor drainage and pavement deterioration. And advanced simulation and modeling softwares are also available now. Before actual construction begin, we can do that simulation part and model part to see how we are designing and what is the construction methods. And finite element analysis helps predict the performance of material, traffic load, environment conditions. And these simulations help engineers and designers to identify potential weaknesses in the road design, such as area prone to cracking or rutting, or enabling them to make improvement. And software like Civil 3D allows engineers to model the road's geometry, drainage systems, and material layers, optimizing the design to reduce long time maintenance. There are robotics and automation is also available now, and they are revolutionizing the quality control process. They can carry out routine quality check and measurements, significantly reducing the risk of human error and increasing efficiency. Robotics can also be used for tasks like inspecting deep road layers or repairing pavement, ensuring that quality standards are maintained even in difficult to reach areas. And robotic asphalt paving machines, they ensure pavement thickness and density are totally uniform, which is very critical for the longevity and stability. And the last element that was also given by the chairman, that communication and collaboration is also very important. And for that also now cloud-based platforms and proper management, project management softwares are all available, which allow team to track quality control parameters, share results in real-time basis, and ensure that everyone is on the same page regarding standards. This transparency improves accountability and fosters a culture of continuous improvement. Cloud-based tools like BIM, that is building information modeling, that allow project participants to access and update the latest project data and ensure the quality issues are addressed promptly. So these also helps us in cost saving and efficiency, automation, real-time monitoring, and predictive analysis. They reduce waste and optimize resources, and there can be a lot of cost saving and more efficient use of time and materials. An automated compaction control system can reduce the need for retesting and rework. And then in the end, I will say that integration of the technology into quality control in highway road construction brings significant improvement, and leveraging innovation in material testing, real-time monitoring, and automated equipment, all this can achieve higher quality roads and reduce cost and less risk. Ultimately, the adoption of advanced technology will ensure inbuilt quality and the road to be safer, more durable, and able to stand and demand of modern traffic, benefiting both users and construction equipment in the long run. Thank you.
Thank you
Thank you.
very much, sir, for giving so much of importance to the new technological interventions that can bring quality to the construction. Now, I would request Sri V.K. Rajawatji to please give his views. Mm. Hmm? Yeah. Please limit to 7 to 8 minutes.
Good afternoon to respected DG Sahab and other dignitaries sitting on the dais. I will be very brief in the quality control aspect. As you might be aware that NHAI is constructing about 5 to 6,000 kilometers of national highway every year. And a lot of major highway construction like expressways have been undertaken by NHAI, and recently NHAI has received so many complaints about the poor quality of construction in 2 or 3 major corridors. So NHAI is very much particular about the quality concern. So I would like to raise some of the issues which NHAI is facing in our construction. Uh, in the recent 1 year of construction, we have found that many major highway witnessed heavy major rutting failures in flexible pavement, particularly in the stage pavement construction of one of the major highway, our Delhi-Mumbai corridor, in which there is a perpetual pavement. So recently we have witnessed heavy rutting in this, and that's why we are taking up the repair work. Another point which we have found in NHAI, that major failure of the rigid pavement constructed in major recently in the 2 states, Madhya Pradesh and the Chhattisgarh, where we found major failure of the rigid pavement construction within the DLP of 5 years. Whereas we construct the rigid pavement for the design life of 30 years, and pavements are failing within 1 year, 2 year, or even within the DLP period. So it is a serious concern for NHAI and all other construction agencies to just think on it. Recently, we have found that in some of the cases, the metal beam crash barrier installed at site is of poor specification. There is some gray area between the IRC specification and guidelines. So that in the morning session, we have discussed with our DG sir. So we are improving upon it. But this is also a major area where we need to think a lot. Lot of contractors or concessionaires are cutting the cost on metal beam crash barrier and providing very poor quality of crash barrier, which is very danger for the safety of the road users. So some of the initiatives which NHAI has taken in controlling the quality of national highway works is we have increased the test check by supervision consultant or authority engineer from minimum 60% to 100%, which I think ministry is also in the process of issuing the amendment in which it is 100% test check is compulsory for the authority engineers. The test check by the authority means our project directors and our officers, we have increased from minimum 3% to 8% that our project officer, our own officer should check minimum this one. We have also recently taken up the random collection of steel samples from the suppliers of the steel, which is a major source of quality concern in NHAI from different projects, and we got tested from the Shriram laboratory. Testing of crash barriers, we have now made it compulsory at NATREX lab Indore. Or recently in the morning, we have shared some result of the failure of crash barriers as per even the specification. Independent quality audit led by very senior, retired, and prominent, eminent experts that we have also taken in some of the projects. We have signed an MOU with the Shriram Lab for testing of the material of the projects. We have also signed an MOU with RITES on external quality audits. Mandatory upload of RFIs. NHI has a system of data lake portal in which all the projects are monitored through the data lake. So we have made a compulsory of the electronic RFI with a definite time period for the inspection and rectification. So it is now compulsory that all RFIs are to be uploaded on our data lake portal to control the quality. In addition to that, we have made compulsory the drone video of the entire project. So whenever we compare the project that last drone video and the current video, so we also started monitoring the quality of the project through the drone video, which we are also uploading on the data lake portal. IIT and other experts like CRRA and other IITs were also engaged for the quality concern matters. Oh, video. Ah. Now we will show some of the video which we have got tested at the NATREX for the failure of the crash barrier. So that we will show you. Yeah. Okay. Just in addition to that, NHI has also found many failure cases of the approach slab to the bridges. We have found settlement of the embankment. We have found, yeah. Please have a look at the video. So that this we have got recently tested at the NATREX lab. This is a case where it is a failure of the crash barrier designed as per the ministry's specification, in which bus crossed the crash barrier and jumped on that other side. Next. Yeah. So we have tested 2 or 3 different samples of different height, different thickness, and different dimensions. And this is all recently done at the Indore in October. Next. Next. Okay. Thank you.
Thank you, Sri Rajawatji, for giving details of initiatives taken by NHI. In fact, NHI is doing largest road builder of the country. So definitely these initiatives will bring quality to the construction of national highways. Now I would request Sri SF Patel from Karnataka PWD Chief Engineer, please.
Good afternoon to all. DC Sarangi Saab, Sanjay Nirmal Kaur Saab, dignitaries on the dais, off the dais. See, this is a 90th year of IRC. Still, we are discussing on quality assurance or quality control of our projects. Civil engineering domain is not only with the civil engineers. Apart from civil engineers, we have to have a team of mechanical engineers, industrial houses, construction workers, and above all, availability of raw materials. Where our civil engineers role starts. Friends, civil engineer, we have surveyed on the fields. We know survey procedures. We know materials, construction materials. We usually select raw materials from local area to make it more economical. Any structure, infrastructure like roads or bridges, even buildings. Third, we are in charge of execution. Earlier, it was not so because we were not only supervising. Earlier, we used to execute also. To get a transparency and accountability, we entrusted construction work to contractors, concessionaires through tools. Now, our responsibility has limited scope because concessionaires have to have shoulder the responsibility in the name of transfer the risk. We are not shouldering our responsibility. Now, FIDIC documents, all tender documents wants to have win-win situation among clients, stakeholders. Friends, where we stand with respect to this poor quality. Now, recent phenomena you have seen, climate change has affected civil engineering field very heavily. Especially Karnataka, I am seeing since 3-4 years, torrential rains, cloudburst, landslides. Is it a responsibility of civil engineers only? Don't you think a lot of stakeholders are there? You divide the responsibility among all the team, and ultimately the responsibility is not, it is not the duty of fixing the responsibility, but ultimately giving a best product to our people, our nation. It is our sheer responsibility. Friends, this discussion rightly they have selected because of failures in roads and bridges in recent times. Bridges reasons are different, man-made reasons and nature's fury. You all know that. Really, it is apt topic selected by IRC. I should thank Sanjay Kumar Nirmal Saab for selecting this topic. What are the challenges right now in front of us? Timely clearance by competent authority. You know how much time it takes. Our Honorable Union Minister always tells this. How delay takes place in clearing the projects. Second, workload right now on our civil engineers. Why quality wing has been created, carved out of PWD. Earlier, it is all civil construction only. In civil engineering, without quality, nothing. It is just manure. We bifurcated because we don't have time to handle. We created quality control wing. What is there without quality? It is in industrial production. Yes, you need a quality control. Looking at IRC SP 47 and SP 57, when I was in charge of quality control SC in Karnataka, I thought, why this like excellent quality, moderate quality, poor quality in civil engineering? If such things are there in civil engineering, then I don't agree to that. In civil engineering, it is a quality. Without a civil engineering product, it is not at all a product. In industrial, yes, I do agree. So now third issue, friends, organizational reforms, way to reform, how to reform. Then major problem, what I am seeing right now, professionalism among contractors. How we are rating the contractors, class 1, class 2, class 3, class 4, based on their turnover. Upgrading them on turnover and work execution, not looking at their professionalism, not looking at their engineering background, people who are working with them. Only one time profile we see and we approve. That is also biggest challenge. Think on those lines, because a lot of codes, a lot of literature is with us. Even then we are failing on in fields. So use of technological advances. Yeah, friends, we have got the latest technology. Can you not afford a digital twins? See, earlier we started our survey with a plain table, then we went to dumpy level, then theodolite, then LiDAR survey. Now drone has come. Advances taking place in all aspects, but in civil engineering, roads without density, bridge required density. I mean, like it is a design mix, especially bridge. Whenever you go for bridges, concrete bridges, it is a design mix which makes a matter. But in roads, it is a density. With the digital twins, why can't you compare digital twins? What is the quantum of material? Now, earlier, we used to have a stack measurements for jelly. Now it is gone. We are going with the levels. So how much material, what gradation? Of course, the design mix is there. But with the digital twin, quantum of material to be used for a particular stretch and compare what is the quantum of material, then what is the density can be achieved. What is it is already prescribed. We have to stick to that. We have to get a compliances. By digital twin, you can compare and give the directions to the field staff or a execution staff. So we have to think differently. For technological advances is happening across the globe, we cannot close our eyes. We have to think out of the box to adopt. Where this advanced technological advancement helps us, especially now roads. I mean, like roads have become a death traps, friends. Why? Sir, 2 minutes. Straight such as you see the road accident analysis India 2021 22, 65% of the road accidents, road deaths are happening on straight stretches. Does it mean roads are bad on straight stretches? Why these accidents? In 65% of the deaths or accidents taking place in straight stretches. Where is the civil engineering? You tell me. Is it a fault of civil engineers? No, absolutely. It is we are using like a road safety. It is wrong. It is a traffic safety. You start introspection. See, I'm not telling new thing, but it is there. You see, road safety is one part, traffic safety is another. You unnecessarily we are shouldering traffic safety on us. Traffic safety is who is handling? Just think on those lines. Definitely advanced technological advances or advancement will come to rescue there. Then usage of market driven, one more issue, challenge is right now. Market driven products are there. How far they are reliable? Every field, I mean, in all angle you analyze. One NHAI, just we saw that crash barrier. Is it really civil engineering? think. I'm not just giving a subject. Then construction waste, of course, we are seeing that way to handle that, how to handle that. Statements, I will go very quickly. Edward Deming makes his American industrial engineer 85% of the to top management and 15% of to workers responsible for manufacturing defects in quality. It is industrial production, not civil engineering. He makes that statement. No compromise in quality to achieve targets. So what we are making now to achieve targets, we are compromising. You just see, no conflict of interest should be there. Then last, quality assurance, it is not enough to know how to do it, but instead also one should know why it should be done. See, friends, quality assurance is a process control. Quality control is the end. You are after end post-mortem. I mean, checking. Quality assurance and quality control both are necessary for quality management. Okay, then points of concern for me, quality assurance plan by concessionaires and vetting by authority engineer. How when it will happen, how it will happen. You all know that there is a process. Then concept of zero defects from planning, designing, execution, and O&M. It is complete asset management. If you have a proper asset management program in your hand, the person who is in charge of these management, if he follows scrupulously on each and every field, automatically there will be a best product, zero defects will be there. Quality is the ratio of performance against expectations. Actual output against planned output. Why quality? You just see why we are failing here. What is our expectation? What is society's expectation? What is engineering expectation? 100%. Yes, sir. So essence of civil infrastructure is quality. Think on those lines, friends. Strategies for the future at organization level. 1 minute, sir. Formation of national level committees to look into challenges faced by construction industry. Right now, it is not pertaining to literatures. Already a lot of literatures are there. Systematic division of responsibilities among construction and quality team within the department itself. Then third, training program at all level periodically. It is not at all happening. It is technical. No, we should update our knowledge regularly. It is not happening in all levels, from assistant junior engineer to chief engineer. It is not at all happening. It is all ad hoc basis. We don't have any proper program. Some programs are there, but not up to the mark. Updation of knowledge through exposure visits. It should be made mandatory so that at the top level or midterm level, all the organization, all execution. I mean, like IAS, IPS. See the cadres of who are in charge of administration, they undergo training. But our engineers, it is not mandatory. We should make it a mandatory. Skill development of floor level workers. So 85% working force on roads and bridges, it is illiterate. There is no training program to them. There is no vocational training program to them. Even carpenters, barbenders, masons, supervisors. Where is the training program to them? They are real owners of that road or bridge. They are real owners. Sense of ownership lies with us, but at the same time, we should train the people who are in charge of that execution. So then last point, audit of technical and financial administrative decisions. Who is doing this? Nobody. Friends, at field, quality surveillance from inception to completion, including O&M period. Yeah, it is already there. Literatures are there, documents are there. That should be trained to. That should be imparted. That knowledge should be imparted to engineers. It is not happening. Then timely inspections by engineers at all levels. Chief engineers, SCs,
Sir,
are we
please.
doing justice?
Sir, please.
Yes, yes. Then third, timely interventions and approvals by competent authority, review of NCRs and also reviewing site registers by concerned engineers. If really it happens, really there won't be any failures. Civil engineering is not only like it is a industrial production. It should be continuously monitored, friends. So fixing the responsibility on contractors for quality and quantity and time. I mean, like even time also. See, when we are paying to him, make him a responsible 100%. Thank you. Thank you, friends. Thank you for
Thank
giving
you.
the opportunity here. Really, we should think for the future. We are really builders of civilization. We are ready. Thank you. Thank you, friends.
Thank you. I would request the remaining panelists to please focus on few actionable points, which as a ministry, NHI, NHIDCL, we can implement quickly so that, and for the contractors, concessionaires as well, so that we can have a difference in the actual output. Now, I would request Sri Kameswar Rao from Delhi Buildcon to please give his views. Sir, please 7 to 8 minutes. Yes, sir.
Good afternoon, gentlemen. My name is Kameshwarov. I work with Dilip Buildcon Limited. I am working at contractor since last 24 years, various projects, mainly in the contractor side only. So I thank member panel to be giving opportunity to speak about it. So I'll start like either contractors or concessionaire companies, anybody, if they mess with a bad quality product, is it benefit for anybody? It's definitely not. That everybody knows it's definitely not. It's even companies are going to be bankrupt, companies are going to be struggle, authorized persons are sometimes putting behind the bars. These are all problems happening with the quality issues. So the contractor concessionaire are also struggling to ensure the contractor and concessionaire are also struggling to ensure the quality works due to lack of self responsibility of systems, delegations and decision power. Contractor will give decision for the for a people to take the decisions that something has to be done today, something has to be done for the sake of the progress. But is that person rightly using his decision power? It is not the director, management, concessionaire head who is taking, who is sitting in the corporate office. He is not taking the person who is taking the decision at various levels, very down levels. People are taking the decision. This is what a decision power, what I'm talking about. So everybody, including contractors, need quality. सबको अच्छा लगता है. Everybody needs a good product. I feel proud when I see the projects which I'm making, but something is not good at the end of this stage. I am also unhappy about it. So it is much needed time and bring everybody's attention, authorities and contractors, concessionaire, everybody to bring a good systems. And luckily, we have one such system is IRCSP and 112, what it is really brief about. The whole quality system, I don't elaborate so much. It's only about only three things. One is quality assurance plan, and second is construction methodology, and third is non-conformance system. If quality assurance plan is included everything, what are all the standards are available at that time, what are all the conditions preceding, what schedule J is speaking, what schedule D is speaking, and what are all the best products to be included in the process. We are making a Gita, Bible, whatever it is, and we have signed off with every party, and we are stick to the following it. That's all we need it. This is what only quality assurance plan. That is what a contractor submit at day one, which is what I was doing from the last 24 hours. But unfortunately, sometimes we don't refer all these documents. It is very much interwoven with the construction methodology. Sometimes even we think like construction methodologies and quality assurance plans and all just for the formality's sake. This is what where the real negligence is coming. Whenever you have the doubt, you have to follow the quality assurance plan for the ITPs, internal testing plans, and anything going wrong, the construction methodology has to be followed very strictly as it is mentioned, as it is agreed with all three parties, that is including consultancy, client, and contractor. If any deviations are coming, we just go back and look at construction methodology and quality assurance plan, following safety plan also. And if anything not good, just follow the non-conformance. It's a non-conformance is not the sin. It's not a very bad document which everybody just debate on it and negotiate on it, rethink on it so much. It's just a little violation of the construction methodology, what somebody is not exactly followed. So we can go back and improve the process. Maybe after 2 days, we can revise that document. We can improve the process and we can start working very effectively. This is what I just take out from the ISP 112 being a executing party.
Right.
So I was fortunate to work from the Golden Quadrilateral projects. I was at contractor. In fact, I started my career. I was testing the sand replacement test, and I was doing the liquid limit in the laboratory as sir was asking. I was very that core person who has been performed all the test, and the system was very strong, very strong. We are the people are very particular about what the delegation is been given to them. Morning 5 o'clock, if I start the batching plant, a consultant will be there, contractor will be there, slump cone will be there at the site. This is how the system is being ensured very effectively, and that's been delivered a great result. GQ was a very success project. After that, we started moving DBFOT model, which is also delivered a good product because the PMC has been integral part of DBFOT model. The PMC is obviously it's been part of the agreement, but it's been preferred by a concessionary where IE is having a 20% checks, and that's also give the good result just because of the diligence. The decision, what I'm talking about, whom we are giving the power. Then EPC has started, 20% consultants delegation has started, and projects are more successful. PPP has its own beauty. When public policy you talk about, government want public-private participation, and government should have the control on the very effectively on the execution and quality of the project, which is obviously keep concessionaire contractor also at the safe place. So nature of contracts have its own impact and some great impact as in a quality supervision. That is what I want to mention here. So my next part is that allied industry. We've been allied with so many people. There are bitumen manufacturers, steel manufacturers, whether construction companies may come and go, but whom you can see consistently in the place is that allied industry, be it to the machinery manufacturers, be it to the raw material manufacturers. Otherwise, if I talk about only making the road is the 50% is the mitti and 50% is the gitti. Apart from this, something if I use it, it is only a cement and all. It's been a great industry. They are all very stagnant there, but how much they are contributing to this industry, how we are bringing them as a technology partner. They have a very little liability of the defects, where contractor has been signing an agreement, he has a long commitment, and he is always with the client. This is what something we have to very seriously look at. So I talk about some machinery since I've been talking about the machinery. We see the Ridge Powers. So many people talking about. Everybody thinks of the Tiber gaps and all in Powers. So Ridge Power, we have 25 Ridge Powers. I'm a good customer of Ridge, but I'll tell you what's the problem in Tiber is if you don't put manually the Tiber, it won't be inserted. That's the problem with the power. Why it is not automatic? Everything is been automated, but it's not been automated because of which you see the joints are widening everywhere and water is going inside. It's ruining the subgrade and PQC panels are setting further. We talk about as in a defective, but the cost of the labor, one labor has to be there on the power, and PQC will be always done in the night times where the temperatures are subsiding. We can do it in the daytime. We do only night time. If labor goes off, somebody was not putting it, there are two mistakes are happening. One is power is not sufficient to do that job. One thing is that there is no automatic tie bar inserter, and one manual supervision is also there is a failure because there is no person on the top who is not inserting. So if I talk about the bituminous power, there is a segregation, there is a less, there are many tamping issues. If you see the power set, there is a 3 back plates. Yes, sir. So this is what the skill influencing quality major workforce or semi-skilled, what concessionaire have been using. 70% workmen are non-engineers, less educated. The pyramid of the workforce, if you see the bottom of the pyramid, unfortunately, we don't have so much skilling was even, we do the upskilling of the manpower at our company level. We make our manpower, but they always used to be, attrition is the most effective thing, the digital era. We have to think of something. I expect authorities to do something. So the quality of labor is also in a problem, which is a major concern. The skill India, something like we have to tie up with the roads and also that will make the manpower. So There are some other problems also. I don't want to so much time. Mis-selling of products and technology supplies, plants and equipments. There is monopoly in the brands, which is obviously impacting the contractor's profitability, where he has to be L1 for the tender, but he should be H1 at the quality. Who is earning profit is in a monopolistic brands. That is what I want to send here. All ministry circulars are helping agencies to help this junction. The most of major materials very recently NHA initiative to reframe the work structure, standardizing the products was very much helpful. NHA was technology innovation as always helping contractors. Hope this will continue. We work on so much technology side to handle the things. I have one suggestion for the technical people here. We've been compacting the soil layers for the 95% or so. So the 5% is left over. The 5% compaction is not being, if it is height of the embankment is 5 meter, the 5% is works to be 250 mm. When it is getting consolidated, the 250 mm is settling in the wheel path. This is one parameter. So how we can address this, and CBR compaction is interrelated for the subgrade. So this has to be related with the pavement design, the resilient modulus by lightweight deflectometer, something can be correlated as the great engineers here can address this issue. That's all my suggestion to the panel. Thank you very much, sir. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Rao. Some very good points. And I think the community of contractors who are, in fact, the basic responsible person to deliver quality should also try to improve upon themselves. Nothing can be always enforced from outside. Now, I would request Professor Amarnath Reddy. Let us have the inputs from the academic side. Sir, 7 to 8 minutes.
So good evening all. I thank IRC for giving this opportunity. So respected dignitaries on the dais, I'd like to just speak on this. As all of you know that massive road construction started from the year 2000 onwards. A lot of stakeholders are involved. A lot of developments that are taking place, revision of guidelines, formulation of guidelines, policy decisions, design, everything is a lot of research work also being initiated. Seminars, conferences, training programs at different levels are happening. And of course, huge technical manpower is also, required for this. And also it has led to the employment generation. So what are the challenges from my, of course, I felt on the quality assurance and quality control? Of course, we have new materials which are coming in. Of course, that is one thing we are accepting it. Okay, no issues. But there are some challenges which I will wanted to tell. And about the quality assurance and quality construction, which is the main theme for today. I have just my ideas, focus ideas on this, where as DG Saab told about a few points, where I'll be talking about strict enforcement. So that's what. And the other important thing is the quality data collection, storage, accessibility. This is also very important, where we are not collecting the data and also we are not able to store it properly and use it. So that is one. And finally, about the profession, about the civil engineering community. So new materials, yes, they are to be encouraged, but only concern is they should be cost effective in nature. Because we don't have LCCA, life cycle cost analysis is not there. If somebody says 30 years, 25 years, we cannot accept it. But only with careful kind of a selection, we can implement that, but it should be cost effective. And later on, once we use it, there should be a performance data to be collected. It's not, we don't require heavy equipments or things, but simply we can assign this to a local academic institutions along with the local engineers, PWD, and start collecting the data, some simple data like roughness, maybe rutting, cracking, this kind of things, and see. And of course, on either side, you have got a regular payment, and we can see we can compare that. So this kind of a mechanism should also bring in. The other one is about this topic, the quality assurance. Of course, poor quality already, you know that it leads to a lot of issues.
Okay, this is a need of the hour, and we need to look in this kind of things in a different angle. So these are the circulars available. Already know that lot of guidelines, more religious circulars every now and then. Yes, it is helpful. Now and then they cautious about the quality to be imparted, so that is working to some extent, but that may not be adequate always. So we have manuals. Sorry to say it's 112. We have manuals. Everything is written. Everything is document. Okay, these are adequate. Even even NRIDA also has brought down the guidelines and all. So, but what is required is, of course, we should have some structured plan on quality assurance. Even some of these countries uses, even when you select a query, okay, there should be involvement from the highest body, like this if it's centrally funded project. So they should able to go and select the materials, sample them, and send it to different laboratories. So this kind of facility is there elsewhere, but here such kind of things are not there. Like for example, in USA, Astro does this. So they when somebody comes out with a query, so they go for sampling and send it to some laboratories and get the work done. So that kind of quality assurance also should be there. And very important thing is, as my previous speakers also told, that now we have done all the documents, everything is frequency of testing, everything is there, documents are there, we have laboratory testing everything, but finally these are not working. Of course, they are working up to certain extent. So what is required is the dynamic monitoring of quality control. This is the most important thing. Unless we bring this kind of a thing, it is not possible. So that means, in addition to the existing quality control measures that we have, we should have a dynamic quality control, because once we test the aggregates separately, let's say bitumen and soil, all these things, finally a mix is being produced. From there, your work starts, because mix production will be entirely different from your standalone aggregate gradation that you have done in the laboratory. So this is what is going to the field. So you should start observing, like you should start collecting the data from the mixed production, then transportation, placing, rolling, and even in service time. So once, of course, this is very important. You have to monitor this dynamically. You have to monitor with the latest technology that is available. Today, we have wireless sensor nodes, Internet of Things, you have data acquisition system. A person can sit in the office, suppose say NHI wants to monitor from the head office. Yes, they can monitor all the sites. Okay, what is happening? So once we have this kind of sensors, wireless sensors, Internet of Things, and data system, these are all kept in this. So like these are some of the practices that country requires. So when the mix is produced, okay, so what are the important parameters which are required? So you have to capture those things. That means minimization of human intervention, because once even the quality of construction has improved a lot, because we are limiting the human intervention. Earlier it was only manual construction, but we have got now automated lot of equipments, even from cleaning onwards. So here also we should limit the human intervention. Of course, there should be some human intervention, but without human, like sensors can be embedded. So this is one of the picture which you can see that in the production stage itself, you can drop some sensors, monitor the temperature, time also, how much time the truck is like from the production to the site, how much time it is taking. Everything you can monitor very easily. Okay, sensors to be placed here, they will be traveling along with the truck, and even when it is placed in the paver, they will be placed and they will be rolled also. So what it does, it not only gives the temperature, which is very important, but also the time of like placement. So this kind of things are only required. So unless we do go for this kind of technology, in addition to the regular what we are doing, the quality improvement will be difficult. Okay. So this is what the kind of things. There are sensors available now. Some of the countries are doing this. But countries like ours, we need to go for this kind of a things. Even in payment service time also we can embed. For example, somebody says load is very high on this road, but let us put some sensors, maybe strain gauges, monitor them, these kind of things, whether really, because we have a lot of advancement that have taken place in this domain. So, but we are using this kind of resources very limited to things. This is what you can see, that some of the picture I just took, how the rolling was there earlier. Like later on, it was animal drawn rollers, then followed by steam engines. Then we have automatic compactor, but today we have a intelligent compactor where data can be retrieved. So also, once we do that, we have technology available where now we can also have infrared, the radar technologies where the density of the payment can be measured. Once the roller moves, no, we can capture this kind of a things and see that how much density. So if you embed this kind of a technology, in addition to what we are doing currently about the manual method of QA/QC, things will improve. And the other one is, of course, I'll just take 1 minute, sir. Other one is very important thing is once the construction is done, we ask equipments like NSV to come in and certify the things. Later on, every 6 months today, we have NSVs and FWDs are almost like mandatory, where they have to do the both structural functional evaluation. And problem is these FWDs and NSVs are, we don't know whether they are calibrated, when they are calibrated. So some of my previous speakers also told that calibration of these devices are very essential. So, but because these are the two equipments which are very useful, because the entire decision, the rehabilitation is based on this. So the calibration awareness, calibration requirements need to be enforced. And finally, civil engineering profession. So we need to create some interest in the student community. So involvement of the students by summer internship, etc. But also when there is some quality assurance, some quality control is being happening, please involve the students, local engineering colleges, where they are fresh minds, so they can also contribute towards something. So finally, it is the integration of civil engineering profession with electronics and computer science. These people definitely can, contribute towards quality. So finally, my conclusions goes like this. In addition to the current practices that are being there in the QA/QC in different circulars adopted by government agencies, of course, that is a good initiative. And new materials to be encouraged, but with caution. And additional measures about the quality assurance and quality control, especially the dynamic quality control with the sensors, IoTs, and the data system has to be integrated. And quality data management, especially FWDs, NSVs, other skidometers, when they come in and give their values, we need to verify whether they are giving correct values by calibration. And of course, involvement of the student community and engineering colleges where they have a fresh mind, so they can also help in the quality assurance. Thank you very much, sir.
Thank you, sir, for all those technological intervention suggestions. Now I would request Sri R.K. Jayagopal ji. Mm. Sir, 7 to 8 minutes, please.
Good afternoon to my fellow engineers and respected chairman here. To start with, I'm not generalizing the things regarding the quality control. It will be uh, straight to the point. We carry out quality control tests for the bridges, metro works, roads, buildings, harbor works, airports, etc. in Bangalore. And we carry out dynamic pile load testing, static, integrity, crosshole, etc. related to the pile testing, bridge load testings, material testing in India and abroad. The tests include plate load testing in ocean bed also. Going further, the IRCA has a manual for quality control for road and bridge works, IRCSP 112, This needs a revision at the earliest because it is almost about 8 years old, and we have gone further better in the quality. Further, the research and development in the quality control test results of material shall be completely avoided. In the sense, when we give the results to the clients, they start doing the research on that. They come back, they go back, come back. They do so much of research in that, they destroy the results itself. This is actually what we have seen from few years of late. Earlier, it was not there. That needs to be avoided, and there shall be, sir, there shall be mandatory orders to test all the materials on the structural elements from NABL accredited laboratories only, because now you have throughout the country spread NABL accredited laboratories, and the NABL accredited laboratory is always controlled by the Ministry of Science and Technology. There is a tough regulation on them. They cannot go out of their way. So we need some sort of an orders so that it should become a mandatory for testing the materials. The testing numbers with respect to the quantities of materials which we are doing from last 10-15 years, it is perfectly in order. There is no need to revision of the quantum of tests to be done against the quantity of materials. The MoRTH is absolutely perfect in that. With the introduction of limit state design in the IRC 78 Part 2, we have revised the correlation factors, modal factors, and other factors which are brought from Eurocode. Sir, we have brought from Eurocode actually and revised the 78. We have not produced anything for the India, for our country. Now we need to indigenize these factors. We'll have to put somebody, because we'll have to collect a lot of data throughout the country and revise this 78 so that it is fit for our country. Then guidelines for the load testing of bridges done as per IRCS 51-2015. Even if now it is in absolute order, revision, even if you think of, it is not possible. It is in fantastic shape, almost nearly 10 years. We are still doing. This code is much better than your railway code, actually, load testing. There are some quality control issues when this IRC IS 516 Part 5 Section 12018 is used in the investigation on rehabilitation of bridges, because they have related the quality grading with respect to the strength of concrete, which is incorrect. Strength of concrete is totally independent of the quality gradient. Somehow this IS people have just correlated this, and it is not working. Basically, if we try to do this, our rehabilitation is totally impossible for our bridges. So this point needs a revision, and we need to take up with BAS. And going further, nowadays, testing equipments, especially we are connected to the pile load testing. Pile load testing, we use Bluetooth. When we use Bluetooth technology, there is no need to put wires to your data taker. You can straight away connect it to the internet, and straight it will go to your client also. Your client will start looking at the test results there only. There is no need to get a fear that, oh, they are doing some mischief at the site. So this type of Bluetooth things need to be introduced everywhere. Then we need to have a, since I went to the PRC, we need to have a mandate code on the grease coated PVC envelope galvanized steel code for the cable stayed bridges, which do not have right now. That is, we are just borrowing from FIB. Now, let us produce our own document for our country. A code is also required immediately for the suspension bridges, which is not there, and world is going further. Sir, Karnataka, we have introduced the stainless steel superstructure, composite bridges. Already the work is in progress in Karnataka Road Development Corporation, and probably anytime the tenders out, and we can see the bridge completed. Suppose I am from the same geotechnical field only, because in case of any wrong mistake or some mistakes are done, if the buoyancy effect is not taken, your pile lengths will affect very badly. You will have to take care for such things. Then cement, specially blended, will never give durability. Maybe you mix whatever you want. The pH value of 14 will certainly come down if you start blending. Either it is will be 13, 13.5, which will so slowly go down. That you will have to take into consideration if at all you want higher durability. Then we should concentrate on the permeability, because permeability again is a durability factor where we think, I think it's about 25 mm that needs to be reduced to about 12 to 15 mm, so that you will have enough of durability. Whatever today we are talking about 100 years, it can be still further increased. And cement, concrete, that we should not lose the pH value, because it starts doing the reducing the and increasing the carbonation. So the pH value in the concrete shall be maintained, because whatever we have seen till date, the old bridges are working well, whereas the new bridges are getting into the rehabilitation or even many times serious damages. That is happening only because of the cement, which was earlier used. Probably the manufacturing of cement, which last time I told in detail, that has to be looked into. And we need some sort of a code or some sort of a this one for plasticizers, accelerators, hyperplasticizer, or even epoxies also. When for rehabilitating, when you go for rehabilitation, many of the items we do not have the standards for that. So we depend on some other country like. So we need some sort of a code for ourselves. And one factor, sir, what we have seen, we have done plenty of NDT, non-destructive tests on the deck slab. Wherever the rigid girders are there, suddenly there is a formation of a hole in the deck slab, which it has not happened in isolated place. It happened twice in Bangalore, one in front of us only in Calcutta. That is what we concluded finally. It was because of the resonance of the vehicles passing through and the slab moving, it has damaged and a hole was formed. Sir, test reports, especially when we enter the laboratory, test reports, we should insist that it should come immediately, because we should not allow any time for somebody to make a mischief in that. For that, static pile load test, dynamic integrity, or any test shall be issued within 24 hours of completion of the test. We should make it mandatory, and we are following. Actually, this is coming from the laboratory NABL. We are giving even 2 days back we gave one. We took hardly about 12 hours to issue the certificate. Why not others do it? Now that we'll have to insist, sir. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir, for particularly giving insight into the quality aspect on bridges. Now I would request Sri Kishore Kumarji, please.
Sir, I'll complete within 5 minutes. I have already put the timer.
Okay.
And second thing is, after all these high-level presentations, I'm sorry, I will be bringing you down to the earth and, if possible, some actionable points. Sir, I just want to uh, fix the definition of this quality assurance and quality control. Quality assurance is planning for quality, what you will do, when you will do, and how you will do, and of course, why you will do is also another important. And quality control is process control. Of course, process start from raw materials and then finished inspection, but it is process control through inspection and testing at all stages, right? Now, how it has happened, because earlier when we were doing item rate contracts and 100% supervision, it was not there. But afterwards, when we have reduced the supervision and when we have stated that you don't have to wait for approvals, then the problem has started. So now the solution is we have to improve the supervision. And how do we improve the supervision? We should not focus. I don't say that you should not complete the project on time. Timely completion is the essence of any contract that way. But currently the focus is on the speed of construction. Maybe we started at 2 kilometers per day to today 36 kilometers, 45 kilometers, something like that. It should shift to building quality roads. Excellency award should be instituted for companies and individuals, not only department individuals, but but also to the contractors individuals for building best quality roads. And you see, we have that orange book. The orange book is so detailed. We have detailed specifications. We have detailed construction procedures. Quality standards are very thorough. There is no mistake in that. Quality control procedures are also there in section 900. But even after that, why there is a problem? Actually, our quality has deteriorated in the lowest level. Let us accept it. Working at the lowest level, I understand. If the roads are not failing, there is no issue. But if they are failing, then it is only due to the lowest stuff. Not about the commitment. I'm not talking about the commitment, which of course somebody said that 85% is due to the commitment of the top management. Yes, it must be there. Quality and speed must go together. But if it cannot go together for any reason, we cannot increase the risk. Quality should be first and speed next. And training of all the staff, particularly the lowest level staff, should happen every 3 months. I suggest that the RFP should include RFPs of consultants should include that they should train the people, not only of the consultants, but also the contractors and whoever client lower staff is there every 3 months. And some factors which are responsible for producing poor quality is poor structuring of the supervision contracts, less number of staff, and less number of vehicles. In the recent contract which I was about to sign, which I will be probably signing in November, means on November 25th or 26th, there are 30 people and we were given 3 vehicles. And 30 people are all only in the top. Then inadequate staff to man laboratories is very, very big problem. Man the laboratories, plants, paving and concrete operations. They must be manned. Laboratories should buzz with activity. Plants should buzz with activity. People should be there. And similarly, paving operations, concreting operations, representative must be there. I'm not talking about high level bridges or high level contracts. I'm talking about a normal contract. And lack of focus on process control. We only go there to do a field density test and then probably levels. Nowadays, levels are also not being taken. We should be present in the entire process. And then inadequate contractor staff in execution. We see that contractor staff, they are not there. Too many projects going on everywhere and staff are not there. See, we are talking about skill. We want engineers there. We don't want others. We don't want labor supervising the things. We want engineers to do quality control. Then compacting thick layers and that to dry off OMC. I thought I would complete in 5 minutes. I'm so sorry. So we are, water is a very big problem in the construction site. Water is not available. So much water is required. Try to calculate the amount of water and water is not available. So they try to compact dry off optimum. And when you have dry off optimum compaction, you are going to achieve lower levels. And then it has more residual compaction that can be done, not only due to the 95% or 97%, whatever was being talked about, it was due to the lack of moisture also. Then people should follow a proper cycle time so that the water can be properly monitored. Watering should be done in the evenings and then early in the morning it should be compacted so that it is available for the testing. And during the day from 10 to 4 o'clock or so, we should be doing the construction operations and not this watering, testing and all. Then laying in and compacting thick layers behind abutments is the sole reason for the menace, the settlement in the abutments, near the abutments. Concrete and the paving should be manned. Now, RE walls. RE walls, it is such a, I want to tell you that quality control is very, very easy. RE walls, why should this bulge? You have to maintain the batter. Only thing is at each level, at each panel level, you have to go and measure the batter and you have to see whether things are going on well on that side. Then second thing is fill material should be tested for phi and C, which is not being done. Once in the design time you do, and after that sometime you do. But if you do it, then that also will be corrected. Then PQC in RE walls, RE wall approaches should be avoided. My able friend sitting over there, who is expert in rigid pavement, she once said that it should be a different material. But when you put the rigid pavement in the RE wall approaches will have joints and cracks, and the water will go inside, and the RE wall will bulge. And once it bulges, again panels will get settled. So it's actually having a reciprocal effect. Then PSC beams should be made ready just in time everywhere. After failures, we have actually conducted so many workshops. Even after that also, even after all 4 workshops, I had to myself face erection of 84 girders which are bulged, which are hogged, and then they have cracks. So those were all set, 40 meters spans, and they were all set, and it was standing in front of me for approval. So we should prepare the girders, stress the girders just in time. The moment it is erected, brace them, then put the cross girders, and then do the casting. Otherwise, see, these are the cases which are resulting in failures. Over optimization of designs in face of value engineering should be avoided. And rigid pavement resting partly on scarified existing road is also settling. And last one is focus also on the small things. In one of the cases where I have faced, a very big structure was built and there was a problem with a small wearing course and there was a pothole and it is highlighted on the media. And some boundary wall, which was supposed to be just a boundary wall, faced the material from the faced pressure from the road, and that has become a big problem. So similarly, there are various other things, curbs, crash barriers, and all these things also should receive appropriate things. And the last point which I wanted to tell is that I was traveling on 2 roads which were really very, very good. Their curbs were excellent. Their crash barriers were excellent. They were par excellence. In this, they are more than world-class roads. But when I found why exactly it was done, they were focusing on the selling of those roads since beginning. And the person, the prospective buyer, was with them in doing all the quality control and bringing it to that level. The roads were built to that perfection. Thank you all. I'm sorry, sir, if I have
Thank
exceeded.
you. Thank you, Kishorji, for very many important things from your rich experience. Now I would request Mital from Sierra, right? Please 7 to 8 minutes. Yes.
Thank you, sir. Respected Chairman, sir, distinguished panel members on the dais, distinguished IRC delegates, ladies and gentlemen. Sorry, I do not have a formal presentation, but I'll just speak my thoughts, what I've jotted down while listening to the other panel members. As DG sir pointed out in the opening remarks, like quality is paramount. Obviously, quality is very important. It is paramount. We have to build and design structures and payments as per the relevant MoRTH guidelines and specifications as per the quality, because obviously a bad quality would cost a huge amount to the nation. So we at CRI, we have been involved with a lot of quality testing, and what we observed that if we improve or the supervision like 10 to 20% of the frequency that is specified in the MoRTH, we have been able to derive or have been able to improve the quality standards a lot. So what we do at the site or at CRA, we take out the samples. Obviously, we do to a lot of sampling. So these samplings that we do, that is typically being done as a destructive testing. So we either take out the core samples or we take the pit samples. So destructive testing can be done only on a limited basis. So non-destructive testing is the future. I mean, we can do a lot of sampling, continuous monitoring of the payments can be done through non-destructive, but currently there are no IRC guidelines as of now available. So I think we should have come up with the guidelines and the procedures for carrying out the non-destructive testing of the payments. Also, we should have more objective and rational criteria for acceptance and rejection basis, and that should also be sensitized. Just one example, like we have a criteria of permissible variation on the binder content, that is plus minus 0.3%, but that does not indicate that the contractor is allowed to add 0.3% less binder than the optimum. He has to add the exact amount of binder, and once you take the samples, there could be a variation of plus minus 0.3% that is allowed. DG sir also pointed out like the stricter enforcement. So we recently presented a paper in the previous discussion in the previous session. That is the discussion paper number 7733, which talks about the post-construction quality audit of highways. So that basically I would consider this as a second level enforcement of the quality standards, because once the uh, payment has been approved or it's been constructed, you are doing a post construction evaluation before the payment is open to traffic. So this is what again, but for post construction audit we do not have any guidelines available as of now. So I mean, IRC should come up with guidelines, because there are certain issues. So in the paper we have presented a broad framework, and certain issues we have highlighted that needs to be, I mean, one has to look for the answers, like how do we actually address those issues that have been raised in the discussion paper. Also, sir, apart from the quality, from the material side, from the construction side, I'll just go one step forward further, that we also need to check our payment design standards that we are currently using, because the current practices that we are using, obviously the guidelines or the philosophy that was developed, the mechanistic empirical equations that were developed, they were almost like 25 years old. They were developed during the R56 research scheme of ministry. So at that time, it was only like 40 BCO or 25 SDBCO on those bituminous mixes, those rutting and fatigue equations have been actually calibrated. But now IRC ministry has sponsored a project to upgrade or to update those guidelines, which IIT Kharagpur is doing with 4 different institutions. So I'm hopeful that in future there would not be any design issues as such. So this is one part, like the philosophy of the design. Second is the applicability of the design. So there are certain issues with the like DG sir has also pointed out, with the effective binder content volume and the volume of airwords. Typically, what happens, you do a design like years, 1 or 2 years before you actually start the construction, and the values or the uh, values of VB and VA that are actually given in IRC 37, maybe 3.5, 4.5, or effective binder volume like 10.5 or 11.5, that are actually taken for the design purpose. And the same goes with the values of the this MR values, resilient modulus values for the bituminous mixes. Typically, one should check that these are only the design values which one has adopted for the purpose of pavement design. And when you actually start the construction, based on the actual mix design process or the actual mix design, these values should be revised. And if there is any changes in the design process or the design thicknesses, that has to be updated, that needs to be corrected. But I don't see like this rarely happens, and I have not seen any case like this has been done after it has been actually designed. So this needs to be looked like there is a mismatch between what has been adopted in the design practices and what has actually been implemented on the site. Obviously, there have been issues with newly constructed corridors failing, and that is not a good sign. We need to keep pace with the fast changing technology, and new materials are coming up. So new materials, new techniques are coming up. We need to encourage them, but at the same time, that should be with a caution. There should not be any fascination for using the new technology, because sometimes what happens, the technology has performed in the laboratory, the development stage, but we try to implement it on the field without having actual practices for quality controls and quality assurance for that particular technology. So one should use the new technologies with a word of caution, with a pinch of salt. And there is a standard procedure at IRC where the IRC has accreditation committee which actually approves the material for use on the field, but that accreditation certificate is only for use on limited basis. And what we have observed is that the people are using it on a commercial large basis. That should not be done. I mean, the agencies who are actually using those technologies, they should be more vigilant. They should do more careful examination, and they should be more careful in adopting those technologies. And one suggestion to IRC, like these technologies have been used, so IRC can develop a database or a dashboard kind of system where the technologies being used on the field, they can be provided on a dashboard kind of platform, so that the user agencies or the users, potential users, can actually see its performance. If it's not done on a real-time basis, it can be updated on a regular basis. So these are some of the suggestions that I wanted to give. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Abhishek. Now we have the last panelist, Madam Basidas. Please, 7 to 8 minutes, because we have too much engrossed into the next session.
Good evening, everyone. I would like to take a cue from DG Sir's points, Member Sir's points, and Nirmal Sir's points, and address. Actually, we are racing against time to build our infrastructure. And while racing against time, quality is getting compromised. And how to avoid that? Knowledge sharing is not happening at the grassroots level. That is one of the reasons, we are engaging new technologies each and every day. Say when we implemented, we came brought about perpetual pavement and SMA. No one knew at the what is it at the grassroots level, and we didn't bother to hold knowledge sharing workshop and how to build it. SMA, it's not a white elephant, but at the grassroots level, they treated it as a busy. It should be a little bit above busy, a little bit of care in compaction level, like one plain pass of low vibration, then one low vibration pass to for breakdown rolling, and four plain passes could have taken care of it, no PTR usage. But we know what all happened. And design and quality control should go hand in hand. It's not that we can avoid the designer, and we know the quality control person should know what is given in design, and the designer also should know the limitations, what the contractor has limitations at site regarding materials. Say, for example, the retain fill. That we mentioned, that Sir has mentioned, the compromised retain fill is being used. So the designer can design, can design with the retain fill with 25-degree and the reinforced fill with 30-degree. It will take care of it. We have to take care of the limitations of material available at site. When we are using pond ash at site, there should be extra measures in drainage system. But what we do, we just use a layer of geocomposite. It doesn't hold. Geocomposite and 300 filter media will take care of the failures in RE wall a lot. And also, one of the reasons of major RE wall failures is the settlement of the approach slab that member sir has mentioned. Why? We could take care of it by just using it. Works wonder. Use it. 500 to 600 of granular or GSB material just below the approach slab, that will avoid settlement, because we know that there will be minor settlements in the RE fill, but it will work wonders. Another reason of failure of the RE walls is that beforehand we had used to have thick pavement sections, so our friction slab used to sit on the WMM or GSB material. But now with with optimized pavement sections, what is happening is that the friction slab is sitting on just fill material or the GSB, or it's not sitting on the GSB. So there is no connection between the GSB layer or the drainage layer of the pavement with the drainage media or filter media behind the block or the RE panels. So since there is no connection, that connection has to be made. Water has to be given a path. And another reason of failure is watering in the medians. If the median is not concreted, if there is median plantation, whenever we are doing watering in the RE wall approaches, which are open to sky and all, due to the watering, there is failure in the closing wall or the bulging of the closing wall. And a lot of the failures are taking place due to watering of the median plantation. So, and also regarding construction of PQC in the RE wall approaches that Kishore sir has mentioned, we can do, but it is as per IRC 15, which clearly says that if you are constructing PQC in approaches or with the gradients, then it has to be constructed as bonded. It has to be constructed as bonded. We cannot debond with a layer of the polythene sheet. So we can do it. Now coming to the treatment of, as DG sir has mentioned, treatment of expansive soils or unsuitable soil in the soft spots. We know that lime stabilization with purity of 80% above or cement stabilization takes care of it. But when there is no such mechanism, one of the easiest methods is to go for deep CNG. Deep CNG to the tune of, say, maybe more than 150 mm, of course, 200 mm CNG. Then what we can have, what we can keep a fleet of some ship foot rollers. We can loosen and recompaction the material, be it at the foundation of the high embankments of this huge formation widths in the, like, Mumbai Vadodara Expressway, Delhi Vadodara Expressway, where we are encountering these soils, be it at the formation level or in the state of Maharashtra, even at the pavement level, we can do. Just it works wonders. We don't need any extra material, just ship put roller up to 1 or 2 passes, that works wonders. Then while the slope failure are taking place, what we can do is build or extend the slope by a few millimeters and build it extra and then rework the slope, rather than building the slope edge to edge and then using the platform, the plate compactor or some other equivalent method to to compact the slope. So let us build a little bit of extra. And if we use curbs and shoots, we know that we will lose the usable shoulder if we put the curb and shoot, because the usable shoulder, and particularly when the shoulder has been reduced to a thickness of 2 to 2.5 meter now. But we can, as per the provisions of IRC 56 42, we can go for mountable curves. The mountable curves to the tune of 100 mm. It takes care or gives passage to the water to the shoots, and also it gives it may usable shoulder also. And for the below 3 meter embankment, shoots at every 30 meter is recommended, and 3 meter and above to at every 20 meter we can use it. And shoots with geocell infill concrete materials, it's recommended because it takes the slopes, the shape of the slope is maintained there, and we should not precast. We should not precast one unit. And sloping surcharge RE walls, in the sloping surcharge RE walls, we should avoid geocell infill with concrete. What happens? The honeycombs, they pop up in no time, giving the passage to water. So we should avoid it. And some other points that I would like to say that the use of the geosynthetics, we should know when we are building geosynthetically reinforced pavements, what works and what doesn't work. Say the PET materials, polyester materials, they don't work between the GSB and the WMM material. They work, of course, they work wonders when there is poor subgrade or something above in between the GSB and the subgrade. But whenever we are using geogrid in between the GSB and WMM, we should go for polypropylene materials. So the selection of materials mostly is done at the quality control level and the level. So the designer has much lesser role, but they should work hand in hand in the selection of the geogrid when we are building geogrid the reinforced pavements. And there is a lot of BC slippage we are hearing these days. Why the BC slippages are happening? We should take care that learn out even on the bridge decks and also when we are building this composite pavements, the BC slippage, research should be taken up in these BC slippage areas. Scour depth evaluation, in the structural locations, as DG sir has mentioned, the waterway and the discharge calculation, the scour depth calculations, that is the quality failure at the DPR level. In one of our projects at the Yamuna Bridge, we got in the DPR, the QMEX, the discharge QMEX is given in the tune of 30 QMEX. When we are actually building it now, it is coming as 65 QMEX. So what do? Increase the span level, then we are not getting a change of scope. So that is a lacune in the quality of the DPR. And it's like that, I would like to say. And even in the VUP and PUP locations, mostly we should go for concrete pavements because of the pedestrians in the crossroads. Pedestrians shouldn't have any problem when during monsoon, most of the roads, they submerged, they are submerged. And use of biobitumen and all, we should use with care, because because what happens is that it's not that there is some plant modification required. Without the plant modification, we shouldn't blindly adopt this technology. Use of rejuvenators, that also needs care. And when we are adopting new materials and technology, the quality control department and the design department should come up with some holistic ideas and also train the grassroots level people how to adopt the new technologies for the success of the projects. That's all from my side.
Thank you. As we have too much engrossed into the next session, there will be one more session after this. Probably I will not be able to take questions. I have received three questions, and I noticed that I think many distinguished, I received four, many distinguished persons present here. They have their probably questions or suggestions. So I would request all of you who have any suggestion as to our contracting mode, as to IRC SP 112, or any issue of administrative circulars, guidelines, any suggestion any of you have, you can give me right now. I will wait for another 5 minutes to take all your suggestions and feedbacks, and I can honestly assure you we'll take up whatever possible to improve it. But that is the secondary part. The primary part is there are lot of things which we know but we do not do. So because of not doing so, the quality is compromised. And I have no hesitation in saying that all of us present here, whether on the dais or off the dais, each of us has a share of blame if something poor quality is being built somewhere. We cannot escape from that. So it's rather a kind of appeal to all of us to do whatever under our command to improve the quality, because there is no shortcut. We have to do a lot of hard work to achieve this. And as far as the points with respect to technology intervention, with respect to capacity building, with respect to modification of contracting provisions, any suggestions are welcome. Please give it to me, and I will try at both levels, at ministry level for circulars for contract, and at IRC level with G1 committee for modification of IRC SP 112. So with that, if I can cite two questions, one which I have received, and if I can take, I think Professor Parida may be having, I was noticing he's noting down, so I think I will take one question or suggestion from Director CRRI, that will be the most appropriate. But before that, let me tell, I received a suggestion from Mr. Vikas Thakur. He has suggested that rigid pavement failure, we can address it if during the DLP we do not allow a repair or even partial depth repair of the panels, but insist on complete replacement of the panel if there is a problem. This is really a very good suggestion. I think if we can incorporate it, this will be a strong deterrent to the contractor for the negligence during construction. Now, Professor Parida, if you have something.
I have noted, I'll share the points, but I'll start to one point is that many times we talk about the failures, but it will be appropriate if you can discuss some of the best, I mean, the projects which has done on quality front. I mean, it's ideal case studies. So what was their strategy, or how the project was successful. Then there is one thing is with respect to plants, equipments, and machineries. In many remote locations, they are not available, especially making those plants, machines, and machineries. In fact, we are doing some project in Arunachal. It was not possible to get pneumatic rollers, so appropriate compaction was an issue. And there was discussion on new materials. CRI has done many trials. So for those new materials, yes, the experiences need to be shared. In fact, while implementation of those projects, we are on site for biobitumen, for resuminator, for steel slag. We have the experiences, and we can appropriately share them with IRC so that, like, means these are our experiences. Similarly, agencies, those who have taken part in deployment of new materials can share their experiences. So that is available to the professional community. So these are 2 points from my side. Thank you.
Thank you, Professor Parida. I think with that observations, we are closing this panel discussion. But again, I have the last word. Please, whatever we can do, each of us to achieve better quality, let us please do. Let us resolve for that. And just discussing in seminars, workshop is nothing, but it is the real implementation which will matter. Thank you all. Please.
थैंक यू सो मच सर। और सिर्फ 2 मिनट का और वक्त चाहिए आपसे बस। एक छोटी सी जो हमारी प्रथा है हम उसको पूरा करना चाहते हैं। मैं एसके सूरी जी से रिक्वेस्ट करूंगी, कोरी जी से सर, कि सब मंच पर आएं और हमारे मेहमानों का मोमेंटो के साथ स्वागत करें।
मैं पता करूंगा मैं बीच में मैसेज दे दिया कि पैरेंट्स में कोई प्रोफेसर कहीं है।
तो कोरी जी सबसे पहले डी सारंगी सर को का आभार व्यक्त कर रहे हैं, उन्हें सम्मानित कर रहे हैं। एक मोमेंटो के द्वारा इस पल को, एक क्षण को यादगार बनाने के लिए उन्हें ये दे रहे हैं। मोमेंटो बहुत-बहुत धन्यवाद सर आपका एक बार फिर। इसके अलावा श्री एसके निर्मल जी, श्री वीके राजावत जी, श्री एसएफ पाटिल जी, श्री कामेश्वर राव जी, प्रोफेसर अमरनाथ रेड्डी जी, श्री किशोर कुमार जी, श्री आर के जयगोपाल जी, श्री अभिषेक मित्तल जी, श्री अभिषेक मित्तल जी, और मिस अतासी दास। धन्यवाद, शुक्रिया। आप सभी का अपना कीमती वक्त साझा करने के लिए बहुत शुक्रिया। थैंक यू सर। और साथ ही साथ हम अगले सेशन की तरफ अब से 5 मिनट के बाद आगे बढ़ेंगे। तो जिन का भी प्रेजेंटेशन है उनसे मेरी रिक्वेस्ट है कि वो पहले अपना प्रेजेंटेशन यहाँ अपलोड करवा दें ताकि कोई दिक्कत ना आए सेशन के दौरान।